Time for a check on business news with Richard Southern. Hey, Richard.
Hey, Janella, how are you?
Not too bad. So yesterday we talked about the CNE. 2020 will be canceled because of coronavirus. Obviously not a surprise, but still disappointing. And while it's sad for people who visit the CNE, it's also a big loss for the vendors.
Yeah, it sure is. You know, one of my first thoughts yesterday tells you where my head is, Janella, but it was Tiny Tom Donuts. You know, they're a staple in the food building. 50 years they've been at the X, and you know they've been pumping out those donuts. You see them made on the conveyor line, and I'm thinking, how is this company going to deal with the CNE not happening this year? So I checked in today with Tiny Tom Donuts.
The CNE is our bread and butter. We know everyone loves us there. We enjoy that festival so much. The CNE is like our second family. This will hit us hard. But we understand the CNE's decision and the City of Toronto's decision completely. So we have to come up with some backup plans, but it's going to be a tough year for Tiny Tom for sure.
Here's the good news, Janella. She tells me that you can still probably get your hands on some Tiny Tom donuts. They actually have a retail store up in Markham at Denison and Woodbine. They're hoping to get that reopened to some extent in the next couple of weeks. So summer could still have Tiny Tom donuts.
Hopefully we can get our fix. Okay. Lots of people, I don't know, have you been able to survive without a haircut?
It wasn't looking good before, and it's looking even worse now, Janella.
It looks all right to me. So lots of people asking when can they finally get a haircut in Ontario. And it seems like even when businesses are finally allowed to reopen, there may still be tough days ahead.
Yeah, we heard from the industry that covers the barbers and the salons today, and they said, yeah, even when we are allowed to reopen, we expect to lose about 30% of our revenue due to the social distancing measures. Shops will probably have to limit the amount of people in them. They'll have to space out appointments to allow for more cleaning in between clients. All that's going to cost money. All we need to do is look to Prince Edward Island. PEI has allowed barbers and salons to operate for a couple of weeks now. They require all the chairs, the tools, the capes to be sanitized in between every single appointment. So it takes time. You can't get as many people in, and that's an industry, Janella, that is very much hurting right now.
That is tough for all those guys. They're going to reopen, but business won't be booming as usual. So it's going to be a tough time for everyone. Okay, lots of changes, and we're seeing Uber making some changes to implement some more safety measures during the pandemic.
This is very big, and it affects you if you're planning to take an Uber starting next week. The company will require all passengers and all drivers and all its food delivery employees to wear a mask. You want to get in an Uber starting next Monday, you have to have a mask on. In fact, the company says it's going to add something to its app whereby it verifies you have a mask on before you can order a car. You have to look into the camera. They're also not going to allow anyone to sit in the front seat. So another big move there to protect everyone amid COVID-19. Janella, you and I are back just after 6:30. We're looking at some more lighter stories coming up at 6:30, including faking it till you make it. Some companies out with some items now to make your Zoom calls look even better. We're taking a look at that.
Awesome. Can't wait. Richard, we'll see you then.
Thanks.